We saw some big changes to Toronto's real estate market in April 2022. Here's a breakdown of what we saw. A quick reminder that I focus on two key metrics, the sales to new listing ratio, which I believe demonstrates demand, and month of inventory, which demonstrates supply. I think knowing which way these two numbers are moving can indicate whether we're bound to see either an increase in prices or a decrease in prices, or whether the market will remain steady. For Toronto's core, the sales to new listing ratio, that demand metric, was 48% in April, down from 59% in March. That 48% number would indicate that market conditions are fairly balanced. The months of inventory, or MOI, a supply metric for Toronto's core, in April was 1.6, double what it was in March. Now, 1.6 is still very much in seller's territory, but a doubling of the MOI has not happened in the past 4 years, with the exception of April 2020, which doesn't count for reasons we won't mention. Now, I said last month that spring was going to be a typically busy market barring any large interest rate increases. April 13th came, and we were hit with a 0.5% increase in rates, the largest single increase in over 20 years. So it appears that buyers are starting to pull back a little, while sellers are coming to market in fairly typical numbers for this time of year. And this out-of-sync movement between buyers and sellers is causing the total amount of active inventory to rise. The number of available properties at the end of April was 53% higher than what it was on the market at the end of March. So unless we see a sharp increase in sales through May, which I'm not sure I anticipate, then total available inventory will continue to grow, and this will cause prices to begin to decline by reasonable amounts in the coming months. For Etobicoke, North York, and Scarborough, the trend for the sales to new listing ratio was very similar to the core, where it declined from 56% in March to 44% in April. This is a move into more balanced territory with a slight edge to buyers, since the ratio is below the 50% mark. Meanwhile, the supply metric, the months of inventory, or MOI, for the outer areas of Toronto is 1.6, more than double the previous month's mark of 0.7. Now, 1.6 is a low number and still indicates that there's not a huge amount of inventory overall, but the trend certainly shows that things are getting much better for buyers. Active inventory rose from March to April by 68%, which is why we saw that huge jump in MOI. Last month, I indicated that things in these outer regions might be moving towards buyer-friendly market conditions, and that certainly was the trend for April as well. I'm predicting a steady decline in prices until the inventory pool starts to dry up or buyer demand picks back up, whichever comes first. I'm Harnish, Toronto Real Estate Navigator with Bosley Real Estate. Thank you so much for watching. If you're watching on YouTube, I would so appreciate it if you click the like button, if you subscribe to the channel so that you make sure that you don't miss the next updates.